Space Age Jim here, and G is one of the most important guitar chords you're ever going to play. I'm going to show you 6 easy ways to play the G chord and which situation I think is best for each of the different ways to play. At the end, I want to show you what I think, see if you disagree or agree, is the best way to play the G chord. And at the end, there'll be a practice session so you can work on a few progressions. Let's get started right now. Major chords consist of 3 notes: the root, the third, 1, 2, 3, there's your third, and that's a B, and the fifth, in this case, is a D. Sound good. Even those 2 chords sound together, your D and G, because it's the first and the fifth. Now, the easiest way to play the G chord is to use your 4th finger and strum the first through 3rd strings. Now, what's wrong with this? It's a bit thin, very thin, because it's only 3 strings. They're real high. There are situations that you're going to use this if you're playing triads or something like that. It's perfectly fine to play a G like that. Now, the G is on the top up here. That's not good. Generally, you want your root note on the bottom. Now, the other way to play, the very simple way, is not as easy, but it's still 3 strings. I'm going to bar it with my 1st finger, and that's going to be on my 3rd fret, 1st and 2nd strings. And I'm going to put my 1st finger on the 4th fret of the 3rd string. Now, I've just inverted that chord. In other words, the notes are going to be in a different order, and that's all. But still, the big problem I've got with this is you've got your G on your very top. It should be on the bottom. So now if you've just started today, this is your chord, either one. But you'll want to quickly get moved out of that, and we need to advance as quickly as possible over to a big G, because here's the 3-string chord. Notice the difference, how much more full, and we'll cover that coming up. Now I've got a G that I can get excited about. This is going to be what I call the 4-string G, and it's going to be the same as our 3-string inverted G. But I'm going to add my 3rd finger on the 5th fret on the 4th string. And it's a super fast way to play. You can get to it quick. It's easy to hit. You can do a lot of things with it. So much you can do. And the great thing about it, it's got the root is on the bottom and the top. So you've got a really strong G sound. Wow. This is something you can hang with and use your entire career. So yeah, it's going to be a keeper for sure. Now, we're going to move to the standard old G, the way that everybody kind of learns G, and it's going to be with just a 6-string G. I'm not crazy about it. I know I'm going to catch some flack on this one, but we'll be explaining why in a minute. But it's just going to have the same as your 3-string G with your 4th finger. Again, it's great to use that 4th finger. And I'm going to use my 3rd finger to go up and catch my 6th string, and my 2nd finger will catch the 5th string. A lot of good things going on with that, but to me, it's a bit bassy. You've got these 2 strings. This kind of, to me, it overpowers the chord. So I'm going to show you an alternate that I think is better in just a minute. You've got your 3rd finger on your 6th string, and you're going to have to bend it over like a little tunnel for the 5th string so your 2nd finger can ring out. So be sure that you're on the fingertips and your knuckles are really bent. You're almost going straight down. That's the way you want to play this chord. Now Now let's go on and cover the alternate G. My favorite, I'll just go on and tell you right off, is my favorite. And that's gonna be the same as the standard G, but I'm gonna, instead of trying to clear that fifth string, I want to have my third finger mute the fifth string. Let's listen to both of them. The standard, I'll follow it with the alternate. Now, I don't hear a big difference. To my ear, there's very little difference, and it's way easier to play super fast. You're not going to get any of this. You're not going to get that kind of muted or buzzing kind of a sound. Super fast. To me, that's the best sound in G in open position you're going to ever find. So go with this one, man. It's a winner. And so let's move on to the next. Now we're going to play the, I call it triple G. And the reason I call it the triple G is there are 3 G's in it. It's an awesome chord because you've got a G here, you got on the high end, you got a mid-range G, and you've got a low-end G. That's a lot of G's. And you've got a great coverage of all voices of G. And the way we're going to play that is just the only difference between the regular G is we're going to be moving our third finger on the 3rd fret of the 2nd string. Our first finger will be on the 5th string, 2nd fret, and our 2nd finger will be on the 3rd fret of the 6th string. Now, you can also play it like, take your, mute your 5th. Unfortunately, you don't have a B there whenever you do that, so it's not a true, G major chord. So this kind of gives you a big droning sound. You can do this with C too. And you can see you can do that with other chords as well. A great chord can kind of give you a big difference in the way you're sounding, and you can switch back and forth. You can do a lot of different things with it, so I'd have to recommend this. Not all the time. A lot of people just play that chord just for the sake of it all the time, and it's not that kind of a chord, man. It's a kind of a voicing that you're searching for, so I don't recommend it all the time, but I do recommend it a lot. I thought about not including this one, but a little bonus chord is just the G, the bar form, root 6. We've got a root right there. It's a full bar with our first finger, and it's an E shape. F sharp, G. So I didn't really want to include that because that's a little bit more difficult and it's beyond the scope of this video right now.